What up? What up? It is Alex, the fantasy football hustler, back at you for another IDP episode. If it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button because there's not too many YouTube channels who are bringing the IDP heat for you guys. This is our divisional depth chart breakdown, and we have already completed the NFC East and the AFC West, and now we are moving on to the North, to the AFC North, and we're going to start with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Roquan, one of the top IDPs. If you guys don't know that, you definitely need to hang around here. But yeah, Roquan Smith, he's definitely one of the top IDPs. Now, with Patrick Queen gone, there's going to be more and more meat on the bone for a guy like Roquan. Now, Justin, I'm not even sure how to pronounce it, but Justin Madbuki, that's what we call him over here, the left D end, man, he's a killer at the defensive line. You pretty much get him for free. So if you play in a league where you start defensive lineman Justin Madbuki, you can get him hella late. He gets to the quarterback, he gets the tackles. He's the man. He's the man, and you're getting him super, super late. And then we're guiding the hype train of Trenton Simpson. Oh, yeah, they get rid of Patrick Queen for a guy like Trenton Simpson to come over there. High draft capital from last year. This is going to be his breakout year, man. He got like very little playing time last year, but get ready. He's going to break out, and you want to make sure that you have him on your squad. We've been driving the Trenton Simpson hype train for a few weeks now, and make sure you get on it because he's not going to be on a lot of people's radars. Like maybe if people are paying attention to us, they'll be on his radar, but just like normal people who are playing in IDP leagues, he's not going to be on the radar. So make sure you grab him super late, and he's going to be a solid LB, at least an LB2. He's going to finish in the top 24 as long as he stays healthy. A guy who moved over here, old face, new place, Kyle Van Noy. Oh, yeah. He does enough to be relevant, and he's going to be a super late pick if he's even picked in the IDP. So he would just be someone who I say, get him on your radar, because once we get to free agents the first or second week, if he's someone who shows out, he's going to get picked up. So you just want to be ahead of the curve. Now, they're safeties. We love the safeties over here. Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams. Kyle Hamilton's got the Q right now. Not even sure what's exactly wrong with him. He's an up-and-comer. He has been. He's going to have a third-year breakout like this year. I know he's already broken out to a certain extent, but we're going to see some crazy numbers out of him this year. As long as he can stay healthy, that has been one of his biggest weaknesses, and that's probably why he's not going higher than what he is, because he keeps getting hurt. Now, the front seven is so beast for the Ravens that you might be able to get a guy like Marlon Humphrey, a guy like Brandon Stevens, that their nickelback, Arthur Millette. I don't even know who that is. I don't know how long he's been playing nickel for them. I don't even know how often they even run the nickel set like out there. But Brandon Stevens, Marlon Humphreys, their front seven is so good that their cornerbacks always get a bunch of passes going their way. And those are solid tacklers right there. So if you play in leagues with cornerbacks, I'd be looking at guys like that. If you play in leagues just with DBs, you're probably not drafting corners anyways, but those are guys who you want to be on the lookout for. And there you have it. There's the Ravens breakdown. Some guys that we want, some guys that we don't. The guys we don't care about, you didn't see, you didn't hear me talking about him. Adafe Owa, for redraft, we're not getting him. Any of the other linemen, we're not worried about it besides Madbuki. But yeah, they got some hitters over here. Roquan and Trenton Simpson, get ready. Roquan's always going to be one of the top players in the league. And book it. Trenton Simpson, he's going to be at least an LB2, top 24. Let's book it. Here we go. Jumping over to the Browns. And the money in the bank is going to be, the highest drafted person is going to be Myles Garrett. I don't even think he's money in the bank. He's super, super solid, but you got to get him so early. We got a lot of expectations that we got on a guy like Myles Garrett. I like Joker right there at the wheel. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, a.k.a. Joker from the Browns. That's the guy that you really want. You're going to be able to get him with mid-level draft value, and we're going to get top-end production out of him. He's been one of the highest rated he was one of the highest rated linebackers coming out of college. Definitely in his first year, he did not perform, but he's been performing ever since then. He's been killing it. He's a guy that you want, super, super consistent. And I know he's not the middle linebacker. That's Jordan Hicks over here. But Joker, he's got a nose for the ball. I mean, he's a sideline to sideline guy, gets hella tackles, and that's why we love him. That's why we love him. Usually it's the middle linebacker who we really want to have on the Browns. It's been like that for years and years, even if we go back to a guy like DeQuell Jackson, like way back in the day. But yeah, I want Joker over Jordan Hicks over here. The other two linebackers, Jordan Hicks, Devin Bush. I'm not excited about Devin Bush. He can't stay healthy, man. It sucks. Jordan Hicks, I might be going after a guy like him. He's not free, but you really don't have to draft him like any kind of early. If he's just like flex depth or bench depth, I'm not mad at it. The guys who we really like over here, we do like their safeties. Our boy Greg Delpit over there. That's what we call him, Greg Delpit, but it's Grant Delpit, the strong safety. Killer, lots of tackles. And so he would be the guy for DB who you don't even really have to target him like early or anything. Get him hella late. And Juan Thornhill, he should be pretty solid over here. And Greg Newsome, he's the nickel back. Like maybe if we were going to be getting a cornerback, like it would be him. When we move over to the line, Zendarius Smith, very hit or miss. He's either hitting a home run or he's striking out. But yeah, he's someone you can get like super late. It's just like someone you take a flyer on. Dalvin Tomlinson, I know he gets a lot of tackles, so that's just his MO for his entire career, getting a lot of tackles right there, clogging the middle of the defensive line. But both those guys you can get super late. I'm really not targeting them. If you totally kick the can like down the street on DLs, maybe those are guys you could target. But yeah, it's really Joker. That's who we want. Joker. He's going to be a guy you're going to have to draft as, I would say, a top 15 like linebacker, but he's probably going to outproduce that. And if he doesn't outproduce that, he's going to be right on par with where you draft him because he's super solid with the tackles. So yeah, Joker, that's the guy who I'm targeting from the Browns. We are continuing the AFC North series. Don't forget, if you guys have not seen the AFC West edition of this or the NFC East edition of this, just go check it out on the channel. You can go to the IDP. You can go to the IDP playlist. It'll be right there at the top. Let's jump into it. So TJ Watt has been and always will be the highest Steeler drafted. He warrants it. I love it on Sleeper when you can actually play him as a DL. Everywhere else, you're just playing him as a linebacker. And he's super valuable, even amongst the linebackers, but way more valuable when you put him competing with the DLs. It's not even fair. He's a cheat code. But you know who I'm really excited for over here? Patrick Queen. Oh, man. Coming to the rival Steelers. This is going to be big time. So, yeah, Patrick Queen, super excited. You got to get him early. You're not going to be able to let him fall, but I'm sure he's going to be worth every penny of that draft capital. Alex Highsmith, someone who probably goes a little bit too high for me. He's seen his best days when TJ Watt was not playing and he would fill in for him. Now he's like an everyday starter. With the money that they pay him, he has to be. And I feel like he has too many lows for me to where I just don't even want to pay up for him the way you have to pay up for him. Cole Holcomb, some new old face, new place. He would be someone who, if I get super late, like one of my last picks, I'm okay with checking out what that's all about. But I don't know. It's not like Cole Holcomb's been great for the last year or two. So I'm not really super worried about him. Cam Hayward, this might be the year when I say just forget about him. He's getting so old. He keeps getting hurt. He's already got the Q next to his name right now. So really just everybody on their line. I don't know. Maybe Larry Ogunjobi. You get him super late, but there's not a lot of meat left on the bone when TJ Watt is rushing. I would rather just have other guys like Patrick Queen or their safeties. Minkah Fitzpatrick, he's always killing it. They got Deshaun Elliott like now over here. That should be a bunch of tackles as well. We know that their front seven is real beast, but their DBs, not always the best, but they do got guys who can get her done. We're far removed from the Troy Polamalu days where they were just like super dominant all the way through. The DBs are definitely their weaknesses. Let's see if Joey Porter Jr. can step it up this year compared to last year. Like, he was by no means a shutdown corner or anything. Not too many of them. They did get Dante Jackson, though. That should be big for them. A veteran cornerback who's going to be over there. And he doesn't shut down half the field anymore because he's definitely not what he used to be. He's no spring chicken. But as far as like IDP goes, he hasn't been a shutdown corner for a very long time. Even if he ever was considered a shutdown corner, he gets hella tackles. So for IDP, if he carries over the same kind of, it's not target market share, but if he gets thrown on at the rate that he was getting thrown on when he was in Carolina, he should be able to get a shitload of tackles and actually be a really good DB for the deeper fantasy leagues. Yeah, and that's all I got to say about that. Here we go. And last but not least, we got the Bengals. And of course, highest drafted player over here has been for a few years, Logan Wilson. That's someone, if you've been following the channel since Logan Wilson got drafted, you knew about him. And you didn't even have to draft him high for 2 years after he got drafted. So yeah, we're loving Logan Wilson. He's probably fallen off a little bit compared to previous years. I think it's a little bit of him just playing banged up. Jermaine Pratt, you're going to be able to get him super late. Just someone he's like an LB3 most weeks. I know we've seen him flash and go for close to 10 solo tackles in random games here or there. But yeah, he'd be someone maybe super, super late if you just want some linebacker depth, someone who can be a little bit consistent when you have a bunch of guys on bye. Maybe it's him. The guys who we love, like over here, Jordan Battle. One of the things that sucks, Dax Hill. He got moved from safety. He's going to outside corner. I don't know why they don't put him as like the nickelback over an old ass Mike Hilton. But yeah, Dax Hill, we're going to have to monitor what he's going to be doing. They run a lot of 3 and 4 cornerback sets, just a lot. But Jordan Battle, that's going to be the guy. You get him so late. And check this out, because Jordan Battle has given a shout out to me and the show.
What's up, guys? I'd like to shout out Alex Fantasy Football Hustler and the 420 crew. I also like to let you guys know that defensive players matter too. So get into the IDP league with the Hustler so you can drive players like myself. Let them know, man, defensive players matter, man, and we make plays just as much as the offense.
Hell yeah. So Jordan Battle and Geno Stone. Excited to see what Geno Stone does coming over there, because either way, the Bungles, they're usually running up the score. If we get a healthy Joe Burrow, that is. And so there's going to be teams that are throwing on them a lot. Cam Taylor-Britt, DJ Turner, those are guys like in a pinch at the DB spot that you could throw in there, because they're just throwing on the Bengals a lot. Mike Hilton, he's just getting a little bit old, and I really feel like Dax Hill is going to take away some of his snaps. I just think things are going to change with him. We'll see, and a lot has to do with Dax Hill. The line that we got over here, so we got Sam Hubbard, and we got Trey Hendrickson, and now we got Miles Murphy, odd man out right now for their DNs. I'm curious to see how much of an uptick he gets in like playing time. Miles Murphy, they draft him pretty high last year, and usually these guys, especially the Bengals specifically, they let Logan Wilson sit for like a whole year behind whoever the starter was in front of him when he was a rookie. But by second year, you want to get these guys in there, but they pay Sam Hubbard, they pay Trey Hendrickson, so I think some might come down to injury. We need Stranger like in here to tell us what's up with these guys. But yeah, Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard, you're getting them hella late. And yeah, Trey Hendrickson's the guy who's like more the QB rusher. So the guy who should have more sacks when it's all said and done. And Sam Hubbard, he gets a lot of tackles for a defensive end. So that's where his value comes. So if you're an IDP 1, 2, 3, each of these guys has their own like independent value. And you can draft either one of these guys late, slot them in at a DL spot. And from week to week, you shouldn't be mad about it. Sheldon Rankins and BJ Hill, that's if you're a little bit more desperate. Those guys are not getting to the QBs like all that often, not really super big tackle guys, but BJ Hill would be the guy of the two if I'm really desperate and I wait until the very last round. I wouldn't even want BJ Hill as depth. I'd only want him if I needed to play him or something. All right. And there we have it. There is the IDP divisional depth chart breakdown for the AFC North. Make sure you go check out the AFC East edition of this video and the AFC West and NFC East edition of these. Appreciate you guys. Hit the subscribe button. We cover a lot more than IDP here. We have morning shows where we're waking, we're baking, we're talking sports. So make sure you guys are here for that. Turn on the notifications, everybody watching on replay.